Looking at A, if we set this up by putting it into our word or our numbers and symbols, 210%. 210% means equals. I don't think I typed all this out. I was trying to rush through and I didn't get it all typed up. Right. Trying to be prepared. 210% of 50 is what number? Okay.
So would we just do this problem like normal then?
Say that again?
Would we just do this problem normally?
This would be a normal problem, except I just need to erase this. 210% of 50 is what number? And so we just changed our 210% to what decimal, Braden? 2.1 times 50.
105.
Is it 105?
Yeah.
Okay, 105. And so your value, when your percent is greater than 100, then your ends up being bigger than your of. Okay? This is your total, but if you have a percent greater than your total, then this number ends up being greater than that number.
Mr. Clevenger?
Yes, ma'am.
Could I just take 210 times 50, because that's where I got the 105 from. And I just did it the way you had 2.1 times 50, and I had the same.
Did you get 105?
Yeah.
Okay.
On both ends.
Yeah. Braden, that was from Greenbush.
And I just moved the decimal over twice.
Yeah, that's fine. B, set it up again. We're looking for what percent of 40 is 60. And to solve for what percent, we divide by 40. Divide by 40. And when you take 60 divided by 40 on your calculator, you should get 1.5. But that's the decimal value. We need to write that decimal value as a percent, Jake, by doing what? Changing it to a percent, moving the decimal 2 places, 150%. Okay, so
Wait, so you would just move it over?
Move it over to 2 decimal places, just like if we had it in our chart. You notice our is was bigger than our of, so we should get an answer, and this is a way you can check to see if the answer makes sense. You should get a value for your percent that's greater than 100. The last one, 150% of what number is 300. Our percent is greater than 100, so our result should end up being less than 300. Because the is going to be bigger than, yeah. To solve that, divide by 1.5. And 300 divided by 1.5, is that 2,000? 200. Oh boy, I was way off. Okay, what number is 200? Again, you could put that into your calculators and solve that. Make sure you're doing that correctly. They're not going to all work out. They're not going to be all this basic, nice, and neat, direct to the point. We're doing word problems. Miss Madison.
Your phone is driving you insane.
It's driving you insane.
It keeps vibrating.
Why is it even doing that? I'm going to have to get a strike for my phone being weird.
That was like the third time this
I'm
year.
gonna need your plan, sir. I feel like the second violation this year is Clevenger.
I'm going to have to go to school tonight then, aren't I? Friday school.
You're gonna have Saturday's night school. Or
My
Friday
bad.
night school.
Okay, what have we always done with these percent problems?
We just like take
We
P
just put
times
them like the 1.2.
equals it.
We're
You
doing
don't
our
have to do that anymore?
We're going to do our P times of equals is. But we still need to do it. What you do not have to do when you see the percent that is greater than 100,
You don't have to make a choice.
you don't have to make the chart for those. You still have to make your charts for percents less than 100, but I'm not going to have you do the charts or the diagrams for percents greater. I think it's kind of, I'm not real
Wait,
fond
why
of how
do
it
we have
looks.
to do the charts if we can like just figure it out without the charts?
Because I want practice, and I don't want to say you don't have to do it because you understand it, but Trenton does have to because he's not understanding it. We're all just going to do it, and at some point I'm going to stop, and those that need it can keep doing it. Those who don't. It's up to you.
I just checked out.
But anyway, back to this problem. Jane is mad because today crullers cost 120% of what they did 2 years ago. I guess it's a curler type thing, is my guess. What does a cruller that cost 60 cents 2 years ago cost today? Well, we know we have our percent.
Well, then $1.
And then we have our of and our is. And this is the cost. 120% of the cost is the cost that it costs today of the original. Okay, so I'm going to say today's price. Because it's 120% of the original. Are we given the original cost or are we given the new cost today?
The new original. Oh wait, no, we're given the original, and they want us to find the new cost.
Right. It was 60 cents 2 years ago, and that's also the first event in time, isn't it? The first event in time that we have is 2 years ago versus the cost of today. So this is 60 cents here, and we're looking for what the cost of those crullers are today. So we take the 120%, which is 1.2 times 60% or 60 cents. I'm going to write that as 0.60. 12 times 6 is 72. Is that $7.20? No, 72 cents. I'm struggling. 72 cents would be the cost of one cruller today. So the first event in time helped us to identify where to put 60 cents in relationship to the other one, your is. Not too bad. The local store owner sold 20 boxes of crayons last year. This year they sold 80 boxes. This year's sales are what percent of last year's sales? We're looking for the percent. So I'm going to get this here. I'm looking for what percent of last year? What percent of last year? So again, we can think of this in time. We can think about lining up last year's amounts. We can go about this a couple of different ways. The easiest way for me is doing first event in time versus second event in time. We're given the local store sold 20 boxes of crayons last year versus the amount this year. Which event happens first in time? 20. Last year happened first. And this year happened second. And it's also, whoops, I spent. This year's sales are what percent? Oops. So we want to know this year's sales. Sorry about that. I even looked at that whenever I was typing it in, and I knew I'd need to do that, and I said it wrong. Okay, to solve for the percent, divide by 20. 80 divided by 20 is 400, or 4, and then we move our decimal over 2 places. So your percent is 400%. You don't have to worry about diagramming, so that's a little bit of a weight off on this. Clear? You are doing 1 through 30, problem set 77. We haven't had an assignment since last week, for crying out loud. So problem set 77, 1 through 30. It is going to be due Monday. You do have 25 minutes of class to get a good start on it. You have some seminar time today. You have a full weekend. I know there's games, but get as much done as you can today. Dodgeball, is that tomorrow?
Yeah.
Maybe you should come watch me go to the And we
Oh,
have
right.
Topeka
Yeah,
all day on Saturday horse judging.
Well, good luck on that.
Dang.